Let's call it in order.
Let's pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Deliver us from evil, and keep us safe, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Rhodes.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In your package, you have the minutes from the regular meeting on May 3rd. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Any discussion or corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. A public hearing for a couple of properties tonight.
First one's on property in Teal Point subdivision, adjacent, some property adjacent there too. That's the annex. And the other property is yeah. 106 Benton Center to be rezoned.
Anyone wish to address the council on these two?
No.
If you're moving forward, you have to.
No, everybody has 2 weeks to. Yeah.
This time we have a resolution for law enforcement.
Okay, the resolution is proclaiming the week of May 15th through the 21st, 2016 as National Law Enforcement Memorial Week and May 15th, 2016 as Peace Officers Memorial Day. Whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15 as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which May 15 falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of the City of Kennett Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the residents of the City of Kennett. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property and protecting them against violence and disorder. Whereas the men of the City of Kennett Police Department unceasingly provide a vital public service. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Kennett, Missouri, that the Council of the City of Kennett, Missouri hereby designates and proclaims the week to be National Law Enforcement Memorial Week and Peace Officers Memorial Day. That we call upon all citizens of the City of Kennett and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 15th through 21st, 2016 as Police Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all may join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in so doing have established for themselves an inevitable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. This resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after the earliest period allowed by law, past this 17th day of May 2016. So Johnny and John.
Moving into committee reports, public safety.
I don't have anything at this time.
Street.
Shoot, yes. Always have something anymore, right?
Without.
We've got a bid on our heating and cooling units with the new building, and they're kind of not apples to apples right now. We've got a ceiling, a drop ceiling, as well as a heating and cooling unit for $11,800, and we've got the heating and cooling unit for $11,741. And I would like to make a motion that we accept the bid of $11,800. That includes our ceiling as well.
Second.
Motion is second. Further discussion?
I'll answer any questions you have there.
Is that part of the
Yeah, that's,
money's already been appropriated, or?
yes, that's the capital budget from this current year.
Okay.
Nothing that, we're still under budget on the building, and
Okay.
still in good shape on that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have.
No, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna be short tonight.
Finance committee.
I really don't have that much. I have asked, or did ask, Ms. Reiser to put the worksheets in your folders, whatever, in preparation so you have a rough draft to work with and be prepared to meet next Tuesday, the 24th. For some serious budget talk. Time. 6.
Anything else?
No, like I said, I've been going over this month's thing. What I told Ms. Reidner, and you guys can be looking at it in that respect, is that while we got these generalized, worksheets here that we've used for years, I will be looking very closely at each of your departments. And if you had money budgeted in here for this year and you haven't used it, you may not get it.
But we're still in this budget, and there's some things that.
Well, I'm just saying, you're gonna have to justify that line item in this budget, in order to keep it there. See what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to spend it, but if it's just something you threw in there, say, okay, in case we do this, and it hadn't been touched, then be prepared to justify leaving it there.
Keeping what Roger's saying, sales tax 1 and 2 continue to be less than last year, this last month. So right now, we're about $70,000 below last year on those two sources of income. And on page 1 there, your general revenue stream, been working with Diane, we're trying to get those numbers firmed up, so we have pretty accurate numbers as to what we can expect for next year.
And in addition to those issues, we have the Third Street issue that has to come out of the general fund, because the road repair is only gonna be less than $50,000, but the drainage system itself is gonna be much more expensive. And then to follow up on that, we still have the other issue with the drainage system and the issues with the maybe having to buy our pipeliner system or whatever. So there's some big expense items that are gonna have to be included into the budget this year that are gonna have an impact on it.
Well, from finance, hard look at finance with the things you're talking about
Sir,
with the fire station No. 2, you know, the prospects of, you know, that's fallen in, almost condemned right now. Marma's got it on our hit list and some other things. We need to be looking at the possibility of asking our citizens to increase or add another sales tax item and vote on it, try to get it done on the November ballot. And we'll have more detail for them, more information for them, but we've got several $1 million worth of expenditures facing us that there's not any way it can come out of general revenue.
infrastructure, right?
Yes.
And the piping for Third Street, that will be a capital, from a
Yes, sir.
capital.
Yes, sir.
It's still gonna be expensive.
Yeah, we're guessing 200,000. And that's it. And then we have to, our concerns about some of the other drainage systems, and we have to consider how we're gonna prevent this from happening again, which is how we get into that next cost. And we do have a group coming to give us a demonstration in the future here, but it still all may come up this next year. I mean, we have to decide if we want to prevent or if we want to wait till it happens. That's the big thing.
All right, Chamber of Commerce?
The chamber was prepared to make our sales tax hearing request tonight, but I understand that took place on May 3rd. And so I had the public notice here, but anyway, I read the minutes and that was what we were going to request anyway, so I just wanted to give you our formal letter of request, because that's what we were prepared to do today. Also, I wanted to talk to you about the Ride the Fault Line bicycle tour. We'll be returning to Kennett in June. I think I've already let you know that. I don't think I've let you know at council meeting officially, but they will be staying in Kennett 2 nights this year. They will be staying in Sunday to Monday like they did last year. They've encountered an issue with construction in another part of southeast Missouri, so they've had to reroute their tour, and they asked if they could come to Kennett a second day, because we did such a great job last year, and I said, yes, please come, we'd be glad to have you. So the first night, Sunday, they will come to Kennett, spend the night at the Legion and the Chamber grounds like they did last year. They'll leave Monday morning and go to Paragould, Arkansas, come back Tuesday night and spend the night at the Legion and Chamber grounds again, and leave Wednesday morning. So all of our efforts last year really paid off, and this year we'll get a double payoff. Hopefully the construction issues will be resolved and they will be able to resume their tour as normal next year, but for this year we're going to reap some benefits from the issue. So with that being said, last year you all allocated $1,500 to the chamber to cover any expenses that we might incur. We didn't use all of that, but this year I'm asking the council to allocate $2,000, being as we'll be facing them double time here. That way we can cover any expenses that we may incur.
And that comes from tourism.
Yes.
So moved.
So I was gonna say, I guess that's your recommendation.
Yes, that's my recommendation.
Second that.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'm sorry, what'd you ask for?
2,000, and here's your letter. I only anticipate using about half that, but I want it to be covered since we're gonna be having double the company. But that'll also be double the revenue and double the tax revenue for our company and for our city. One last thing I wanted to cover is, you all have probably heard about our leadership Kennett class that we are taking. And I really wanted to thank the staff at City Hall and the police department for taking care of our session. Kennett Police Department covered 90% of my session for me last month, and I can't thank them enough. They did some really great demonstrations for our class. In our class, we had leaders from all different industries throughout town, and they were all really able to learn a lot about our city and our government. Thanks to all the work that Diane and her staff did and the police department did, and I really wanted to thank them and let you all know that they were a great help to us. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll interrupt our agenda. We have a contract here for Chamber of Commerce next year for funding from the city in the amount of $25,000, which is what we did our last meeting. A motion to approve the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Human resource?
Yes, you do.
Just did.
Yeah.
This is human resources, you have anything for human resources?
Yes. Okay, so it's that time of year when we have to come to an agreement again on our medical insurance and with the dental, life, disability, and vision. And this year, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is going to increase 2.2%. Our broker is out of Jackson, and he did the best he could to try to not get an increase, but 2.2 is not as bad as it could have been. And then we use a company called Guardian for our ancillary products. The dental will increase 4%. And the way that this has worked in the past, the city has paid 25% of the employee's dental. And if they add their spouse to it, they have to pay for the spouse. Vision, the employee pays for themselves, and if they add their spouse, they pay for that. So tonight it needs to be approved. We are in conjunction with the Board of Public Works, and at their board meeting today, they did approve to go along with these changes. I need a motion.
Well, how much more is it still gonna cost, is it gonna cost the city, how much more that was concerned, or that cost gonna go back to the employees?
It is, Roger, do you still have yours handy? Okay. Okay, right now, the employee, the premium is $545.22. The city pays $500. So they pay $45.22, which we divide it between their two paychecks, so it doesn't, hurt as much. And it's going to be going up to $578.98. So, if we continue paying at the $500, then they're going to be responsible for $78.98. So it's going to go up about $35. Right there. This is the new increase. No, this is us. Well, it's the same thing. We're all the same. This is with the fees. This is what we pay to Anthem.
Why do we have a limit, or why have we set it at $500? I don't recall, instead of a percentage.
Well, it ends up being about 90% is what the city is paying.
So my question becomes, should we stick with that $500 amount, or should we, from here on out, look at it as a percentage?
That would be up to the council. I think it was set at $500, not knowing what it may increase to, and at the time, the council was comfortable with, paying $500 per employee.
The purpose of making it a percentage would be that we are buying into our employees as well, to make sure that they're taken care of. And if we're willing to take the increase, then they should be willing to take the increase in rates also.
I don't have a problem, I mean, as far as percentage or whatever, I just,
So I'll make a motion then that we take the percentage, we pay the same percentage of the new rate as we have paid in the past.
But we're still gonna pay 90% regardless of what that 90% is.
Or whatever, $500 out of 548.
Yeah, whatever that percentage is, off the top of my head.
I second that.
Discussion.
Motion and a second. Further discussion?
Like, so that, to me, that, now, we still have the right and the ability at any point to go in and say, we think that's too expensive, we don't wanna go with this insurance company, whatever. But what it, like I said, to me, what it does is tell our employees that we are going to stand behind our percent, and if we can do it, then you can do it, or should do it.
Well, we would be obligated for a year to stay with this same insurance. Anniversary date's July 1st.
Do we have any bids from anybody else?
That's what I was gonna ask.
No. We might next year, but we didn't this year.
Well, I can tell you a 2.2% increase in today's healthcare world is better than anything I'm getting.
CLGW has talked to Lerma, and they're venturing out into this insurance, that they have very few customers, and they're a real novice jumping into this right now, so I'm not sure it'd be wise to change companies. Maybe after they've had a year under their belt, it might be worth looking at, but a little bit apprehensive of jumping ship at this stage.
well, as long as we go with that percentage number and keep it consistent over time, then it's gonna be reasonably fair to the employees, as fair as we can get.
Because last year, the employee picked up the full increase. We stayed with the 500.
No, whatever the percentage.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, the other item for approval, and this won't be paid for